All right. We're going to give this a shot. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned game of Mechabellum here. And today we have not one but two games that we will be reviewing. Starting first, as the cost control specialist with steel balls and crawlers as the first offered. Now we are playing at around 1500 MMR here, and we are up against our opponent, Expression. Now let's take a look here. He is going to be the giant specialist, and we can see that he starts out with tarantulas and void eyes. So a very powerful starting pack. Giant specialist, typically we're going to expect to see some shenanigans, probably something early like maybe a Raiden or Sandworm, something wild, but it does mean that as the War Factory enthusiast, a free unlock on a melting point is something that we have to prepare for. Melting point can be a threat into the War Factory, as anyone who's played Titans know. The melting point is a counter to high health units if it can get the lock. And today is a series of games exploring what happens when the War Factory bumps into a melting point. Let's get into it. One of the most amazing crawler splits I've ever seen. It looks like we've got something around at 1.4 different directions we're going. We're going to be getting slowed here by an almost instant crawler take. But let's see, maybe this reload turret can do a little tanking for our steel balls, but no. Not looking good for us turn one here. I'm not too surprised by it. We'll do a little speeding up because, you know, these kinds of rounds can tend to go a certain way. Looks like most of our steel balls do get pulled in, which I thought was kind of unfortunate. I would have preferred that they'd gone to the tower, to be honest. If they go to the tower there, you know, maybe some magic happens. But alas, turn one, we're taking an L and going to be losing a little bit of health. Mass-produced melting point is picked up by Expression. I did not realize they were mass-produced until right now, but that does explain a lot about how this game goes. Spoiler alert. We've got a Vulcan on turn 2 against the giant specialist. It's not that big of a surprise, but let's just go ahead and check the cards here. Looks like I skipped. And we go ahead and pick up a cast flank right away. Which, you know, sometimes when I don't know what I want to do, I really like this play a lot. It just is annoying. It's very annoying. And sometimes being annoying is enough to get off some silly plays. We also throw down the oil right in front of him here. Now, we are always planning to go for hounds, always, with flame shot, hot dogs. So we'll go ahead and throw down the oil this first round and get some good value out of it. It's going to slow down his crawlers, and then look at that. Our crawlers come right in time to hide the hounds, and yeah, it's looking pretty good. On the left side over there, very cool. He's got a Vulcan. Is the Vulcan going to be able to beat 1,000 steel balls? This is what he's made to kill, but I think we got some pretty good locks going here. This flank up at the top right. Oh my goodness, this Vulcan. Yeah, he does go down, but taking forever and doing a ton of damage in the process. There is our tower going down, our turret going down, and I don't think we're going to have enough, even with these tower timings, to clear everything. It's a little sketchy with no chaff against these tarantulas. And boy dies. Yep, not looking good. So after some affair here with these sledges doing what they can against the tarantula is just going to succeed here. And we lose again. So, you know, it is starting to affect us here. We get a unit drop. The triple marksman just was too good. Too good. Even with the Phoenix being offered, triple marksman really can't ask for a much more spectacular option. I don't know. Maybe Phoenix would have been better, even still. But I just love marksman with the War Factory. I think they pair so nicely together. So this turn, 600 coins to spend. Quick supply specialist here. So we're getting hot dogs. And then we have permission to sell and buy 2 chaff. Or just a bunch more hounds. On the turn you go flaming hounds, it's probably not a bad idea. Now, I am still just trying to figure out the optimized positioning for these hounds. And I'm very much unsure that behind everything like that is right. I think having one there is good. But I'm thinking that the 2 behind even at tower height might be unnecessary. And that it could be better to get them maybe staggered a bit more so that the rockets come out at different times. Because like on the left side here, we saw the whole hound pack shot against the Vulcan. Now with the oil flame, our marksman getting some decent locks here on this tarantula, and the flame is going to hurt these void eyes. It's actually looking all right on the right side here, but on the left, this Vulcan's going to be too much. There's a whole pack of fangs up here. Looks like the flank did get taken care of eventually. It often does, but it's still nice to have that there to get in his head a bit. And here we go to round 4. All right, so I've been drawn more and more to the heavy armor, even as the War Factory player, especially if now. Okay, actually, hold on. Before we talk about that, efficient light manufacturing picked up by our opponent, and he was going the mass-produced melting point and then goes into efficient light manufacturing. I'm not sure that is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about anything. Who is? But you know what? Seems like there's a bit of counter synergy there. But we're going to see what happens. I think I could have gotten away with picking up the armor there. Maybe not. Maybe I didn't have enough. I mean, what would I put it on? Put it on these sledgehammers, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I did. Yeah, look at me go. See me talking. I buy the armor and put it on these level 2 steel balls who are in the battle royale with this Vulcan. But most importantly, in the middle of the board, the War Factory joins the fray. Looks like we are going to be recruiting 1 unit of Fangs right there in the middle to have some chaff, later chaff. I mean, Fangs are definitely going to be the way to go for our chaff game at this point against the Vulcans. And we've got the factory out. So now we kind of get to see a very unfortunate lock for us, by the way, of this Phoenix unit onto the factory to get his high DPS on there just in time. But the factory does lock onto the Vulcan. I mean, it's still doing a ton of damage. The Phoenix is doing a bunch of damage to the factory, but it looks like we're going to have enough. Certainly going to have enough to deal with a few Fangs. And we'll go ahead and take a nice big win there to kind of even up the health. So there we go, round 4, 1 round, a very nice win. Now, Incendiary Bomb, you have to pick the spells as cost control. I think that's like written in the contract. Because the guy is supposed to be a businessman, right? He's like a CEO or whatever, the cost control character. Yeah. you got to buy the spells. It's in the contract. So we pick up Incendiary Bomb, which is a fantastic spell, and I mean, if I can aim this correctly, could cause total mayhem and obliteration on our opponent's side of the board. We'll see how we decide to aim that. Sometimes the small decisions are the hard ones, like deciding, do we upgrade these marksmen, which it looks like we do? Do we pick up +1/+1? Maybe. Do we want a missile anywhere? It's kind of an annoying crawler here. Now it's high time these steel balls get sold, but with the factory play that I did, putting the factory in the middle of the board, it does require us to utilize the field recovery spell for that round. And then next round we'll be retrieving the heavy armor and the money from these steel balls, which are showing up super late. Really annoying situation over here because, yeah, our crawlers are going to get lit on fire too. Oh, what are you going to do? He's definitely getting a value win there, but hey, wait a second. Nope, not even one crawler. See, and this is a problem here. Melting Point gets a basic instant lock because I have no chaff in front of the factory. And yeah, looks like maybe I should have kept him on the right side like I had originally planned to. Over here, the flank is still doing a great job. Just annoying and obnoxious. But this is not looking good for us. There is a very small amount of chaff left. And only one factory with no production, almost no support. I think that this is going to be a round win for our opponents. Unless maybe some sort of miracle tower timing, but no. Once the Melting Point is locked on, it's pretty tough at that point. Hold on. Just kidding. Huh! And just like that. Flipped the round right on its head. I opted into the Farseer here. I thought that Photon Coating was going to be coming into play this game with the EMP barrage on the Melting Point. Now, we'll notice here that the Melting Point actually has 0 damage. And I wonder, is this the mass-produced that it literally gives it 0 damage? It also decreases its range, which is kind of a bummer. That means that if I click range on the factory, then technically the melter still has longer range. But they're about the same. Okay. I guess even with the reduced range. I might be missing something. But I thought they were the same range. But we do click range on our factory. Very important into the Melting Point matchup. Range is critical. And we've got our oil back up again. I mean, look at this. We've had flames like 3 rounds in a row now. So the sticky oil bomb on level 2 is round 2 is just absolutely fantastic. Sometimes you can use it 3 times in one game with the Hot Hounds, and it's just absurd. It's obscene, really, is the right word. Now our opponent does pick up the anti-missile device on the Farseer, which I thought was really cute, and I actually decided to switch to anti-missile device on my Farseer as well after this game. I think that having something that can do it is nice. So our fire actually ends up lighting us on fire almost as much as it hurts the opponent there, but you know, that's just, sometimes that's gonna happen. It's just the way the flames go. Through the fire and the flames. Our one factory does get a couple shots on the Melting Point. Is that going to be enough? Looks like it. Get shot. Get knocked out. Oh, almost enough there, Buster Brown, but not quite enough, and almost only counts in horseshoes and handyman. Got to adjust that frame. Our opponent picking up the barrier, of course. Fantastic unit item. Very, very good, especially with this mass-produced shenanigans. Dignanigans. We pick up Photon Emission. Pretty good option here. Just, I mean, I really thought you would be going EMP barrage because, like, our factories, we just have a woefully insufficient amount of chaff. So I've been trying to recruit chaff alongside factories, but like, where's the chaff over here? This is bad. I'm realizing that the factory deployment of itself does reduce the amount of chaff you're gonna have until you can get some production going, right? So right over here, we really need some chaff. Probably need like a, I think ideally it would be like a fang in front, or maybe some crawlers over here. But we can see that this melting point just gets a basic insta-lock onto our factory because we have no chaff. Over here on the left side, it's looking a little bit better, but not that much better. Oh my goodness, the quad beams of death. That's a high level melting point. Yikes. Oh, we're gonna take a ton of damage. 1230. We just got socked in the jaw. Now, Ion Blast is offered. And I am the cost control player, but I couldn't justify it. I needed the money here, and I didn't think that getting the EMP was enough. I guess I skip. I knew that I just had to get the steel balls going, had to get production steel ball going, and we need chaff desperately. We need chaff yesterday. We also go Phoenix production with energy shield. And I still wonder sometimes if quantum reassembly wouldn't just be better than energy shield into the melting point, because it seems like as soon as the melting point locks on, it goes right through the shield, and then like the next tick goes all the way through the health of the Phoenix. So it's almost like the shield does nothing. Let's see if we get an example of that. Slow it down here. So I got a unit of fangs out of front, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough. At least this time our factory gets to shoot a little bit longer, maybe make an additional unit or two, but it's still not enough to save the factory. Oh, however, over here on the left, it looks like we've got a really good push going on the left side here. Oh man, this is a dangerous situation for us. These melting points are locking on, but most of them are locking on to chaff still. Over here on the right, we're losing our factory, but the level 3 melter does go down just a little bit. Here we go. Melter goes down. These melters have this obnoxious technology, of course, but there's a unit of fangs. This unit of fangs could be a big deal, but we got a lot of Phoenix coming out, and I think that that damage that's about to be coming through is just way too much. And look at the steel balls production. It's too much. Too much. The chaff has been created, and it is being deployed constantly right in front of the war factories. Everything you see here on this board was created by war factories at this point. And we are now in a situation where one round win will basically end the game on the spot. Now look at this steel ball production offered for the opponent. Does he pick that up? Now there's just only one option here. The only option is you have to pick electromagnetic barrage here. I could be wrong. I think you have to pick it. And then you need, yeah, more Vulcans for sure. All right, well, we're going to see what happens. We got another round. I decided to recruit a factory and stick it right here in this spot. And yeah, that, I don't know. Like, why? Why did I put it there? There's got to be better spots. You know, maybe this marksman was in the wrong spot. Maybe it goes right there behind, or just the classic spot. Maybe I take advantage of the fact that he's playing so passive over here and just stick that guy right there. Just have him going out in front. There's no melters over here yet. It could have been an option. Our flames are back up again, and I opt for this. this little chaff play over here. We did obviously sell the steel balls at some point, move the heavy armor over here to these tanks, and then I guess I kind of forgot about this, but I moved these Phoenix over here and put the Phoenix on the flank. And I mean, look at the Phoenix now. These Phoenix on the flank are helping a ton. It's going to mean that these sledgehammers are undealt with, not being dealt with. In the front here, this guy did not get the insta-lock because of the crawlers in the corner. And now we have the same situation we just saw unfold in the last game. Steel balls are locked onto the produced units, not the factories. Tower going down. Tower going down is huge. This factory is tanking. It's tanking the Vulcan, and the melting point is just attacking crawlers and steel balls. Oh, it's a tragedy. The Vulcan's locked onto the factory, but he can't help against the endless row of steel balls. That was a damn good game. I'm going to go ahead and turn this music down just a scotch so I don't feel like I'm yelling at myself. Hopefully that wasn't just blasting your eardrums. But let's just take a peek here and see what we got to see. Look at that. I mean, that is a beautiful game. Vulcan Melting Point. I do believe that it can beat War Factory. If the Melting Point player is able to get those critical locks onto the factories and not the spam of Phoenix and Steel Balls that are coming out. Very important. Let's try this. Let's play as our opponent and see if my theory... Okay. What about steel ball production for us? It's got to be garbage, right? Let's take it. It's got to be garbage. Let's take it. All right, this guy has an item. This guy... Let's get him that. Boom, boom. Okay. So did he know? He knows the Phoenix is here. Okay, so why does he not have... Does he need crawlers? Is it crawlers that he needs or fangs? It's crawlers, right? Fuck, man. I don't even know what to do as this guy. Here, let's try this. Boom, boom, boom. What do we sell here? Are those Phoenix doing anything? I kind of don't think that they are. Let's sell those. And then let's go. Boom. Oh, well, I floated 200 like a jackass, but let's find out if the EMP does anything here. The crawlers definitely helped on that flank a lot. Okay, the EMP is doing it, dude. I think it might be if this factory can get a lock. Melter can get a lock. Damn, it's not going to get a lock. Oh, that was really close on the left side there to it getting a lock. Ah, it's not going to happen. It was a good attempt. The EMP is not enough, and another just absolutely crushing defeat. Man, it is annoying to face that. What a trash build playing all factories like that. Let's watch another game. Let's watch another game. This was at like mid 1500 MMR. And we got ourselves another game of Mechabellum here. And I'm going to tell you a few things about it. This game will be featuring the War Factory yet again. And let's find out what we're going to be facing against. Our opponent picks up the supply specialist with the crawlers and mustangs, probably my favorite card in the game for our opponent. I did not like anything I was offered. I hated everything. So we go for the one I hated the least, which I still hate, was Amplify Specialist with Mustangs and Void Eyes. I felt that the Mustangs and the Void Eyes were the most useful of the useless trash that I was offered. So we go ahead and pick it up. I opt for Hounds, round 1, because I don't care. We're going up against the Mustang Crawler start. So I thought, you know what, Hounds, I don't need chaff. You know, Hounds are going to help a lot with our chaff clear. If he does buy something big, we got the Void Eyes. And it gives us a nice start on our chaff clear game. Now, I'll be the first to acknowledge that more research is required in determining the correct positioning of the hot dog hounds. I am still working that one out. And unlike most intelligent players, I like to place my units in the exact same spot every game, if possible. It requires the least amount of brainwave energy, and the amount of Diet Coke that I drank when I was a kid, it just works a lot better for me when I don't have to think. That's why I play War Factory. It's a simple man's game, you see. But look at the genius behind these splits. I mean, we got a split of the Hound. That Hound's going to shoot his missile to the left. I'm wondering if maybe it's not such a bad idea to start putting the Hounds behind the towers and see if we can start getting a Hound split. I think I'm going to start doing that. Let's try it. Let's try something new. Now, we got a horde of crawlers. Absolutely Mitsubishi. I'm getting Yamasaki'd over there. And maybe, just maybe, if that hadn't have been such a good tower timing for our opponent, he would have got his tower first, and then this turret could have contributed something. I mean, it would massacre these crawlers, but it is not looking like today's going to be our day. The Sabertooth is too big. I mean, look at how low it got. Look at how low it got. That's just like 2 Void Eye shots away. Maybe our little turret here can at least, at the very least, come on, buddy. I believe. Finish off them crawlers. Yep. All right. Look at that. I didn't even realize that guy's name is in a different language. All right, so we get a unit drop. I like the Badgers. I also like the Sledgehammers. Now, Stormcrawler. Stormcrawler is really good. And he does have the missile interceptor on his bar, and he has the missile interceptor on his Sabertooth. So, yeah, just, I don't know. I like the Sledgehammer. And you know why? Because it means I get to save a deployment and get 2 units of crawlers. And we get our Sledgehammer. And that feels like a pretty good deployment to me. It's also going to afford us, if I'm not mistaken, I thought we maybe got +1/+1 here. Or maybe I don't know. I mean, it's just as much anticipation. Going for oil. The round 2 oil play again. All right. So these games were back-to-back. By the way, we are looking at 2 games that were played back-to-back on the ladder, I believe yesterday. So there's the lore behind the story to get us in the mood. Now, I don't think I've overplayed my hand just yet. You know, I've only recruited 1 unit of Hounds. If anything, he's probably thinking about this obnoxiousness, which is pulling, like, look at how much is pulling right there. That's insane. That is like probably 2/3 of his army over there. But it doesn't even matter because, unfortunately for me, I do not have missile interceptor on the Mustangs. And so these Stormcrawlers are actually a huge pain in the ass for what I'm building, and they're good against war factories as well. So, yeah, the Stormcaller is very problematic for me at this, especially at this stage in the game. And the Wasps, I mean, not to even mention the Wasps, right? It was like a tiny fraction of his army actually just beat me. It's basically just the Stormcallers and the Sabertooth. So, not good. He didn't lose very much at all. And so we're going to take a pretty good chunk of damage here, actually. This whole army's alive. Yeah, like 1,000 damage right there we just took. Thankfully, I had a decent amount of health. I can afford to make a huge mistake like whatever just happened there. I really love what happened with the pull. I mean, these Stormcallers just annihilated me, and I have no chaff. So I guess my answer here is to put some hounds. Now, I feel like... Okay. Maybe the fangs in front. Or a little crawler shenanigan. I mean, like, this. The thing is that this rapid fire cannon is actually pretty decent here. Over here on the right, not much happening. It looks like our opponent does try to do the same thing that we're doing with a sledgehammer in our flank, but it's only going to pull my Mustangs. And then on the right side here, I mean, yeah, I really don't have that much over here. So, but I could commit to a push over here later. The big problem right now, of course, is these Stormcallers. Now we're gonna get the flames here. The flames are gonna help. But yeah, I mean our second round of flames, not really doing that much, and our hounds are getting like too far ahead, so our Void Eyes really aren't doing anything. And again, I mean, we have no chaff, which I don't know. I don't know why I don't have any chaff. Apparently, I just forgot that chaff was important in a game of Mechabellum. And really, unfortunately, this is a War Factory game, and War Factories really need chaff. They do not like getting locked onto by high-value units. We're going to go ahead and speed things up here as our opponent is going to beat us again. This one's not so bad. Our flank over here is still doing a ton of work for us, really, really saving us a ton of hate. But it has not been enough to stop the bleeding, and we are now about 700 health behind our opponent. We got some spells here. Orbital Bombardment is a great spell, but it is expensive. Underground Threat is also offered. This is round 3. If I'm taking a spell, it's going to only be Underground Threat. There's no way I can afford Orbital Bombardment the turn before I get Factory. Now, our opponent's going Stormcallers, High Explosive. So this is going to be a game where I really regretted not having anti-missile on our Mustangs. I have since swapped out the culling rounds technology with anti-missile device, because as good of a technology as culling rounds is, it takes a few turns to get to get it going, and the War Factory needs chaff cleared by round 4. We need our chaff clear at least partially online by round 4. And we would also love to have our chaff started, I mean, mostly online. That is a devastating volley of fire from these Stormcallers. Now, the high explosive does reduce their damage by 50%. So that means they're not going to do nearly as much to my War Factory, but I'll be damned if they aren't doing a ton of damage to my Mustangs, my poor Mustangs. The Houndfire is actually doing really, really well for us. It does look like they're going to get through the factory over here on the left. We're going to take another loss. Plain and simple. High explosive Stormcallers, man. Whew. Really doing work on us. And I don't have the missile device on the factory either. You know, I think that the maybe sledge production we drop for missile device. I don't know. It's a pretty expensive technology. It does work really well, though. The War Factory anti-missile device. So the unit drop here is a little tricky. There is a bunch of good options here. The Fire Badger's free, and it's level 3. The Phantom Rays are actually really good. Could do a juiced up Phantom Ray flank on the right side. If I did that right now, that would be strong. But I go for the Fire Badger as the little bit more conservative play here. And he had this flank over here, so I just thought, whatever. Like, I'm going to throw this Fire Badger here, annihilate this little stupid flank he has. The Fire Badger will go up and be late chaff clear against all of his chaff, all of his crawlers that are getting pulled towards these sledgehammers. So I thought that made sense. In retrospect, you know, another, like, the Phantom Ray flank over here would have been super, super good, actually. That would have been fantastic with some crawlers. Put a ton of pressure on him over here, and then I have so much time to work with on the factories. But he goes ahead and picks up 3 vortexes with emergency armor, which is really good, actually. Very good against War Factory. And he picks up a melting point right in front of where my factory was, which was right there. And again, that's just, again, the reason why I love selling the factory on turn 5. Putting the factory someplace you don't actually plan to leave it, and then selling it turn 5 and moving it. It's a huge amount of minerals that you're going to repossess. And I have found, generally speaking, you will get some nice value out of leading your opponent astray on where your factory is going to go. Is this factory going to survive? Do we have enough to take down the wasps? The answer is yes. We got the Fire Badgers still alive. I mean, they did okay. 15,000 damage. There we go. We finally get our first win, and we about even up the health. Our opponent has a slight health lead, about 200 health. Turn 6, electromagnetic impact is offered amongst the Vulcan's Descent. You know, Vulcan's Descent, again, some of these spells you wouldn't usually pick. A Vulcan's Descent right here would be absolutely filthy, right? Like, it's just going to walk over and take this tower instantly. Or even over here to support the existing flank that we have. I mean, like a Vulcan's Descent right here would be super strong too. So maybe a Vulcan's Descent would have been better. But I pick up the EMP and place it right on all of his high value stuff. And he does the same. Now our sticky oil bomb is back off cooldown. Beautiful. That's what we love to see. That is why this is such a powerful spell. Should be, I mean, I try to pick it up turn 2, if possible, almost every game. I think it is so good, especially if you're planning on going like Hound Flames. Part of the benefit to me of watching these and making these videos is just seeing where I could have done better. And I think a big opportunity for placement adjustment is on where I have my fangs and where I have these hounds. I'm thinking that the hounds need to be placed kind of right in front of where the factory is going to be. And so I have that first layer of fire and then another, you know, kind of row maybe behind. So we both get hit with the EMP. He is going to get range offline from me. I get range offline from his left side melter. And it looks like that'll be enough to take down the left side melter. The right side melter does almost instantly lock onto my factory. And so that's bad news bears. He's already leveled up. He's doing a gazillion damage this round. He's going to do a bazillion, trillion, million damage this round. As my co-pilot gamer, little gamer, future awesome mega gamers would say. Oh, get him! Get him! takes down the melting point. So now it's just this war factory versus the world, and down it will go. The wasps are gonna all level. Everybody's gonna get happy. Everybody's leveling. Everyone's ready to go. The war factories, when they die, do distribute a mega ton of experience. Round 7, or somehow the flames did not get ignited, and our opponent does not have anti-missile technology. So I scoot a hound up right here to make sure that those flames get ignited, or at least try to make sure that those flames get ignited. It's also a good thing that stick something right there so my factory doesn't just get insta-locked again. We get another factory, so now we have 4 factories. We're kind of doing this elongated shape here. And this round, instead of going for steel ball production, the money just worked out. And oh, JK, I think all right, we're just gonna let the replay play. Looks like I changed my mind and decided to level up to level 2 factories, and then we hit. Okay, and then we're hitting overloads, and we didn't buy any more factories. We just tech our factories and level 2 of them up to level 2, which I actually kind of like that here, considering what we're seeing from our opponent is these melters. So this is an alternate angle you could go. Now I do buy an anti-missile device. Not a huge fan of the placement of that, but the overload is going to come into play here, and overload also helps a little bit with our chaff clear problem, because it just means the factories, you know, they're just shooting faster. That's like the biggest thing. And look at that. Look how fast they take down the melting points now. So even though this melter does have the suck your life away technology, which is really, really unfortunate when all you're building is war factories and you're not even building production. Oh, but the level 2 factory doing so much damage. So much damage, able to tank it through the melter with the health suck. But alas, even with these 2 enormous level 2 factories, I still do not have even a single fang or anything else that's able to shoot up. We're just going to go ahead and sit here and tank it, and you know, even something as weak as a wasp with enough time can whittle down even the strongest of foes, like a level 2 war factory. Are they going to get this other one in time? No. And so we get that 500 swing back at least. So we've got cards, and this game is starting to run it. Looks like we're going to opt to skip. Advanced targeting system is offered, which is really good, but is also very, very expensive. So here we are on round 8. Our opponent has quad-teched his melting points with all of the technologies he has on the bar, except the one that he really wishes that he had, which would be electromagnetic barrage. But instead for him, he has crawler production, and he opts to go for crawler production, which is really expensive. So I don't know if I like that play. I don't think crawler production does all that much for you. You only have four melting points. I think just continuing into these wasps is really the play here. I mean, they're doing work. Like, this guy could get elite marksman even. These guys are ready to level up. Maybe triple recruit, level 2 wasps. I mean, I get flattened by that, right? I have nothing. So I need to get some anti-air, and I'm painfully aware of that. But somehow, like, I look around and I see where did all my money go? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. It's because I'm a War Factory player. And all my money goes into one factory and a unit of fangs, apparently. But we do get an insta-lock on the right here into his melting point. It just gets evaporated, like instantly gone. Goodbye, thank you for playing. We've got some nice chaff coming in here. That's from the crawler drop that we got. This factory's taking out another melting point. That's really, really good for him. boom, these melting points are dropping like flies. The DPS that is now coming out of these factories is pretty profound. They are splattering these melting points as soon as they get a lock. Quad tech melting points going down instantly. We've got 4 Mustangs alive. The heroic unit of Mustangs. Can they take down 1,000 wasps? These level 3 wasps are just gonna sit here and shoot this huge, ginormous puddle of health that is this war factory while these Mustangs clean up shop. So a pretty clear, obvious lack of anti-air for me that I think my opponent could have easily capitalized on, especially after seeing something like that. But that's 2 rounds in a row that, like, he could have, you know, murdered me with a bunch of air, specifically wasps. I think wasps were really, really good for him. So I'm looking at this situation and I'm fearing these wasps tremendously, but there's also an acid puddle and we can't joke around with that because that thing is all bad news. If we let it just land on us for 2 rounds, we will just probably just lose the game, actually. Very possible. So we go ahead and do a bunch of funky business, starting with dropping triple bubble here. And I could not make up my mind. I kept thinking I need wasps here, or Mustangs here, but like I can't afford any technologies on them, and they're like level 1 Mustangs, and I don't have anything to deal with these stupid Stormcallers. The Stormcallers were the real problem, I felt. And there's no way I got away with something this recklessly irresponsible. There's no way I didn't buy any anti-air. There's no way that I did not buy any anti-air. No anti-air. The disrespect. The flagrant disrespect to the wasp play. And this is good. See, I'm learning and I'm criticizing myself now. That was just absolutely unacceptable. That I just didn't buy anything to deal with the wasps. All I have are these 4 Mustangs that are like about to drive right into the fire. Are they gonna do it? Oh. In the fire. Oh, the fire wears off just in time. Are these Mustangs? 5 Mustangs again. This is, oh, and they're in the, oh, no, this time we're done. We're cooked. They were able to chew right through that factory because it was in the acid. Here we go again. This is so bad. How do you not see this and just start buying level 2 wasp and click elite recruitment? Like, obviously, we're going to try that. But, yeah, that's 2 rounds in a row where, I mean, the wasps have cheesed him so hard. And there we go. Another unit drop. I almost snap decision. I see the steel balls automatically thinking, oh, yeah, steel ball push. We're going hard. This factory was already here. I placed it there last turn, so I decided instead of selling it to just give him 3 units of steel balls with mech div to go with him. And then, please, for the love of all that is holy, tell me that even my small, tiny little lizard brain bought some anti-air this round. Mustangs, Fangs, whatever. 2 units of Mustangs. There is hope. There is hope for me. There is hope for me after all. It only took me... Oh! I sold one of them. To buy 2 anti-missile devices behind my war factories. They should have been in front for sure. Those missile devices, one right here and like 1 right here. Yeah, for sure. They should have been in front of the factories. Okay. Did we finally? Nope. See, I never sold these fire badgers either. This was bad. I should have sold these fire badgers. So let's see what happens here. I mean, come on. I'm running out of time. Looks like we're movement beacon in to go for the tower. I don't know if I floated money there or not, but these steel balls just almost like basically insta-lock onto that melting point. It gets absolutely cooked. And look at this pull over here. Still, there's 2 melting points, a bunch of wasps and crawlers and all this other stuff that's getting pulled over. This melting point is shooting like 3 war factories at a time, sucking the brains out of all of it. That is amazing. I mean, look at that. Just look at the beams of justice. What do we have here? Let's watch this melting points perspective. Look at this. Oh, yeah. Okay. We've got like a quadrant. But over there to the left, uh-oh, steel balls coming in. War factories seem really strong. Uh-oh. Even our, like, cybernetic web of juice-sucking beams is not enough. We're going to switch to these wasps perspective. The absolute MVPs of this game have earned their Hot Wheels stripes, are still just sitting up here, but it is not nearly enough, not at all, when you have 1.5 million war factories producing 1.5 million units. And yet again, it comes down to like 2 Mustangs shooting at these level 4 wasps at the very end of the game. Wow. This wasp did over 1 million damage. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What a game. We are going to take home the dub yet again. But there's no way we can get away with that amazing round without at least trying the wasp ourselves. Now, what do we want here? Is any of this good? Well, obviously, take the steel ball. What the bro, like, why didn't he actually, why didn't he do this? Okay, here we go. Okay, my brain just turned off for a second there. I'm focusing pretty hard. Let's get these guys leveled up. They earned it. Is there anything we have worth selling? Do we not even have the sell button? Oh, man. That's tragic. Okay, well, we screwed that part up. Alright, let's see how it goes. I guess it's just the wasps. I mean, are the wasps going to do it? Also, these steel balls here. I mean, look at that. Why didn't he do that? Why didn't he do that? They just annihilated that war factory. Absolutely blitzed. One factory down. And here we go. I mean, yeah, our melting points are going down, but they're not going down quite as fast. Melting points are still alive, a couple of them. Melters are going to go down here, but our wasps are still alive. But is it going to be enough? Probably not. Yeah, it's just not enough. He should have been going wasp for, you know, multiple turns. Multiple turns. Well, okay, let's try one other thing. Let's try one other thing. I mean, I wonder if this would have been enough to, like, win the game if he had done. So I think this was an obvious answer over here to do this. This is just easy. Just one of those real quick. And then, you know what? Let's try it. You know, where do you put the abyss? Is there space for it right here? There is. That's where it goes. Okay. He's not, I mean, because, like, I'm not going to expect somebody to do that. Do like that? Nah, that... Fuck, man. Whatever. Okay. Alright, let's promote these guys. Let's do one of those. Oh, that missile actually was hella good. That melting point. Maybe I should have sold that melting point. Like, that melting point was in such a bad spot. Alright, let's see how this... Is the Abyss going to be able to do anything here? Is it going to be enough is the real question. So, it's locked on the factories. We've got the Abyss and the Wasp. So, yeah, this is where you just hardcore pivot. Hardcore pivot into Abyss and Wasp, and I am cooked. I am cooked now. Absolutely cooked. Yeah, there's no way I could beat this. Like, I don't have marksman. I have no anti-air developed. I have nothing. And you have these high-level wasps with elite marksmen. You can just start building 2 Abyss a turn. I lose. GG. So there it is. That's the answer right there. An Abyss would have solved the problems, as it almost always does. But I think that, yeah, my hubris for not solving my anti-air problem sooner, I mean, this is just disrespectful. One level 2 marksman and one level 1 Mustang and another level 1 Mustang. That's just disrespectful. You got to punish that. You got to punish that way harder. I got lucky on this one. We're going to say how it is. But there you go. A little different angle on the factories this time. We did eventually get steel ball production, as one does. Very fun game. Got the mech div steel balls. This was fun, I thought. But yeah, here you go. I mean, this was like a free offered counter for him just to destroy that. Hope that you liked this video. If you did, you're feeling so inclined, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know that you liked it, you know? And hey, if you got ideas in the comments about how I could have played this better, you know, keep them to yourself. No, just kidding. Say what you will. The dragon unleashes his own rage. Catch you in the next video. Peace!